he going?
Earth, to finish what I started. And this time, none of you will be left behind.
That structure in the center of the city, it's a Forerunner ship. And Truth is heading straight for it. If he leads the Covenant fleet to Earth, they won't stand a chance. You have to stop him.
That brute has the Index. And Miranda and Johnson. He can activate the ring.
If he does, I'll detonate in Amberclad's reactor just like we did the Autumn's. The blast will destroy this city and the ring. Not a very original plan, but we know it'll work. No, I don't want to chance a remote detonation. I need to stay here.
What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Kyle, and today we are continuing Halo 2 Anniversary on Legendary and Without Dying. Today's level is High Charity, and this is the final level of Master Chief in Halo 2, and it's a pretty short level, not too complicating. It's just Flood and the Brutes, pretty much. There's a couple of grunts, as you can see there, but I don't think there's any elites in this game, or in this level. I think it's just the Flood and the Brutes. And this is pretty much right after the events of Gravemind. Chief is trying to find the Prophet of Regret, or no, the Prophet of Truth. The bad one, the bad prophet. You know, the one that's the most manipulative. I think it's Truth. So yeah. So pretty much this whole level, Cortana's kind of up your butt the whole time, trying to pressure you to keep moving, and we don't have time for this, Chief, and this and that. And I feel like in pretty much every Halo game, there's never like an actual time limit. The only time limit I can think of is the end of Combat Evolved on the Maw, when you have to drive through that whole the Pillar of Autumn. But other than that, I mean, Cortana's kind of just saying that to keep the pressure on. But this level is pretty straightforward. You can just pretty much go through this level mostly with ease. There's a couple of tricky parts. I would consider that first part that I was just in kind of tricky, but I don't know, just pretty much like any other Halo 2 Legendary level. Just keep your distance from the enemies, shoot them from afar, and you'll be fine. So there's a bunch of beam rifles right here, so we're going to use them against these stupid bugs on the next part. Because if you keep those guys alive, they're just going to be a big pain in the ass in the future.
Flood too shall fail.
I always thought this level was pretty cool, the anniversary version. But basically right now I'm just letting them fight a little bit, because a lot of them come in, there's a lot of Flood and Brutes. I kind of want it to be an even fight, because I want all of them to kill each other, so I don't have to do much of anything, but I have to go that direction in order to move on, so I want them all to be dead by the time I get over there. And I never knew why, but the sniper just never really worked against the Flood. Works great against pretty much everyone else. It's awful against the Flood. These guys are coming at me, but I got them. No worries. And I'm going to go back, grab the other beam rifle, and move on. Now everyone's dead, so I won't have to kill anyone. Or, I mean, there is more enemies that get triggered once you move on to the next lift, but I thought this feature was pretty cool. Although it kind of locks you in place here, so it's like you're kind of trapped if someone tries to come get you there, but it's all good. So at this part, yeah, okay, I guess we do just move on. It's the next part that's going to be the next thing, because that door way over there on the right, there's a bunch of bugs that come out, and you don't want them coming near you, because you got enemies coming out in front of you too, and it's just, you're going to have a bad time if you don't kill those bugs. And there's a shit ton of flood coming out of this area right here. I knew they were coming, I have to get close enough to trigger them to come out. Surprisingly, those grenades didn't do shit. But yeah, see, 3 shots to get the flood with the rifle sniper. It's not ideal. But I don't know. This part's pretty cool. Very creepy atmosphere. And I mean, Halo's not really known to be a creepy kind of game, but you can just see the flood quickly taking over the High Charity, and it's just like, it's so crazy how quick it happens, because it just shows you how consuming and powerful the flood really is. Just have to kill every single one of them. But yeah, this part is kind of tricky, because you kind of have to sneak through and, you know, not necessarily sneak. You could fight guns blazing and all that, because there are brutes and stuff in this part too, so they're kind of fighting them as well. But this whole section is just full of flood, and every room's like this. The floods seem to usually take care of the brutes pretty easily, which is kind of surprising. I thought the brutes would be pretty good against the flood. That was a pretty good juke move by me. I could admire my gameplay every once in a while. I try not to too much, because I don't want to sound like a fucking douchebag, but sometimes I do cool things. So yeah, pretty much like I said, every room, there's just more waves of enemies, and you kind of just have to navigate your way through it all. This part, I think they come through the windows up top. And it's, yep, there they come. It's kind of crazy. Those elite floods, they will hit you once and you're dead. So you gotta be careful. Not every time, but sometimes they do that. So it's kind of like unpredictable. This part, I think it's this part. It's either this one or the next room that's very similar to this one. There's a rocket launcher flood, but I don't think it's this one, because this is the room full of Covenant. Or brutes, I should say. Brutes and jackals. I still call them Covenant, because I mean, technically they are. Every time I think of Covenant, I think of elites. Oh man, that was kind of risky. And those fucking fat guys are still coming at me. The big boys. They're slowly making their way. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous in this game, like how slow they are. But you gotta kill these guys, because they'll get the flood back, bring them back to life. Reanimate them or whatever, like that one right there. I think that's the reason why I'm coming back here and killing them all. I don't know if it was worth it, but whatever. Alright, so back to this part. There was at least one more brute out here somewhere, I think.
The parasite did not defeat us, and it shall not defeat us.
Oh, it looks like the flood came out on that side. Cool.
Instantaneous, while we shall suffer the progress of infinitude.
There's one brute running around up there. I don't know if it's worth it to try and run away or what, but I think this is, yeah, I come up here and there's something up here. It won't pop up on the screen, for the recording, but I got an achievement. It was, I forget what it was, but it had something to do with like a, you know, whatever that was. But anyway, this brute over here, just take care of him real quick. Because you never know. I mean, they could chase me into the next room. And if they do that, that just complicates things. But yeah, I really love the level design on this level. It's very, I mean, it's kind of cool how it's basically, you know, it is Gravemind, it's a high charity, but it's all fucked up now because the flood is just taken over. Now this is the room with rocket launcher flood. I think typically, like 9 out of 10 times, there's a rocket launcher in here. I don't know about this time. It's kind of crazy, the old graphics. It's so dark in there.
Whosoever is gripped by fear, take heed.
Oh, there he is. I don't think I got him.
Noble mercy is here.
I might have. I don't know. That might have been him. He might have dropped his rocket launcher after I shot him the first time. Oh yeah, he did drop his rocket launcher. Well, there you go. He's dead. There might be another one though. I don't know. It's one of those things that's kind of unpredictable. So I kind of take my time with this just because I don't want to get surrounded, especially by those bugs. But the bugs and the flood, those are like the two things you never want to get surrounded by. Because they aren't, well, the bugs anyway, they're not that powerful, but if there's a bunch of them near you, they're going to take you out pretty quick. And of course, I run out of ammo. So me, of course, knowing me, I go back and try to find ammo because I can't live without ammo. I could have sworn there was a carbine somewhere around here before. Like when I was walking around. But maybe not. Looks like I'm shit out of luck. So I'm gonna have to do this with just a sword. Obviously I'm upset about that, but that's okay. We can handle it. I mean, obviously this is the no deaths run. This is it. So I'm not gonna die, so somehow I make it through. I don't remember because it was a while ago when I played this, but you know, I got it. Oh, that was kind of close right there. I think I already forgotten that I ran out of ammo. Silly me. So now I got a pistol. Better than nothing. Try and draw him over here. And I'm sure there's still flood in this room too. Maybe not, I'm not sure. They might actually spawn once you hit a certain point down here. I'm still looking for a carbine. Of course I am. I don't think I'm gonna get lucky. I don't remember there being any brutes in here, so they usually are the ones that have carbines.
Apparently these are the Prophet Hierarch's private quarters, their inner sanctum.
God, these things are so annoying. I think they're the worst in Halo 2 because they are so hard to hit. Like in Halo 1, if you hit them, like, they'll die. And in this one, if you hit them, they'll die too, but like, you just have to time it perfectly in this one. There's a carbine. 20 shots. Not ideal, but better than nothing. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but this next part is probably the trickiest part of this level because it's the flood and the brutes fighting, and it's just a shit ton of reinforcements on both sides, and it's just a big room and you can't really go anywhere, so I'm gonna not fight them. I'm gonna opt out of this fight and let them duke it out, because if I try to fight, they're just gonna kill me. I already know it. I mean, I might survive, but you know, I don't want to take that chance this far into the level. So basically, I just hide back here. I don't know. There is another hiding spot that I discovered, and I don't know if I discovered it here or when I was playing with a friend of mine. Might have been with a friend of mine, but either way, we're doing this. And somehow that grunt is hitting me. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, the Fled spawn in on those little doorways up top there, and they massacre the grunts, and then them and the brutes fight it out. But basically, this is how it is for the next couple minutes. And yeah. They're still fighting. I don't know if I ever joined the battle. I might join the battle towards the end. But, yeah, not really sure about that one. It's just, it's unpredictable. Because, especially with the Flood, too, because they, you know, strength in numbers, they're gonna kick your ass, so it's just better to be safe back here. Kind of make my way, feel the room a little bit. Get an idea of who's left. And I don't see anyone right now, but I'm pretty sure there's some brutes up there, if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's the Flood. One of them. There we go. So that's pretty much the end of this room. I don't think any more spawn in, but basically that door unlocks when you walk up to it, and then that's it. I'm not really sure if it unlocks if you just walk up to it whenever, like if there's a bunch of enemies, if it just unlocks by itself, or if it has to be like when everyone's dead. And then in this room is another part where I thought there was a shit ton of enemies, but there's not. So I'm super hesitant about, like, you know, if there's enemies coming out, if I should turn around and run, because this is a really open area, and if there were enemies, it would kind of screw me up. So I'm very cautious at this part when I really don't need to be, so it's kind of a waste of time. So I'm just like... I'm trying to trigger it, but there's nothing to trigger. But I think after I shoot the doors is when I kind of realize, okay, I don't think there is anyone in here, and then we just move on.
I'm running out of options, Chief. I can't stall the launch sequence
Yeah,
much longer.
so I could have saved like 30 seconds by just walking through the door. And then this next part, there was a skull right there. This next part, pretty much just what I do is I don't rush, but I just go through, I hide in the shadows, hide in the corners, and make my way across the room. And then there's one sniper down at the end that you have to kill, and if you don't kill him, you're pretty much screwed. Because he's going to get you, because it's an open area. So he's over here on the right, he's shooting right now. But yeah, the brutes in the Flood, they're just going to keep spawning and keep fighting. So basically you just gotta... He saw me. So basically you gotta just kill that sniper jackal and keep moving. That's pretty much what I do. I come up here. They usually don't see me up here unless if I, you know, make myself known. But they do see me after this part. So he's dead, and then there's a couple brutes down here that actually spot me. And they almost kill me. One more shot I would have been dead. I was trying to get back through that little section there, but I kept getting stuck. And then you just gotta run for it. Just go for it. Don't even worry about what's going on down there. None of it matters.
I have to stay here, Chief.
Shut up, Cortana. And that's High Charity.
Chief, when you get to Earth, good luck.
After I'm through with truth.
Don't make a girl a promise.
If you know you can't keep it. Way to be all dramatic, Cortana. And that's the last we ever saw of Master Chief in Halo 2. Well, there is actually a cutscene after the last one. But anyway, as you see, 64 kills, 0 deaths. Pretty simple level. I think it's one of the easier ones. It's kind of interesting because it's kind of thrown in with a bunch of hard levels. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for this one. Join me next time. It'll be the last episode of our Halo 2 journey. The Great Journey. And yeah, we get to face off against Tartarus. We get to rescue some badass elites. And pretty much save everything. So yeah, join me next time, and we'll see you on the next one.